Hello, it's Oren Prunkin, and today I want to talk to you about a follow-up from an episode that I did not that long ago. Now, that episode was around how and where there is attention and awareness and traffic everywhere you look, and it was specifically talking about a oval that I drive past on almost my daily route. And what they had done was they knew that they had access to awareness and attention and traffic, and they put up a whole bunch of physical billboards on their oval just to capture that attention and awareness, and then try to get their message out to the people that were driving past. And the context to that whole episode was around that there is all of this attention or potential for attention and awareness everywhere you go. It's just a matter of looking at that, finding it, and then tapping into it for your message. So the follow-up that I want to do today is on a question that I had around how do you go about tracking the return on investment or the effort. It doesn't matter what investment that you put in, whether it's time or money or effort. How do you go about tracking that for anything that is in the physical world, physical ads? And it's a really interesting question because in the digital world, technology has come so far and it has allowed us to very accurately track all of that return on investment. You put something in, and what do you get out of that spend in terms of your marketing sales dollar or effort or time? Now, in the physical world, there are really two easy ways, and this is going to help out any of the entrepreneurs or small business owners that are really starting out, don't have big budgets. And the two that I really want to focus on for this episode are, firstly, direct response, and then the second one is media mentions. And I'll talk about both of those in turn. So the first one being direct response, and direct response is the activity of putting out a message to a marketplace and then measuring who takes action on that message directly and then comes back to you. So in the physical world, you put out an ad, and if there is no call to action, nothing for them to go take action on that you can directly measure from that message, it's really difficult. And a lot of people, when they purchase billboards, are going for the brand awareness. They're just putting a message out there without any direct response. They're not asking for a response directly to that message, and therefore it's really, really difficult to measure. So for billboards, one of the ways to do that is putting a call to action with some specific request that gets them to do something that you can go and track. And that could be going to a website, it could be going to a phone number, it could be scanning a QR code. Now, the thing with all of those three that I just mentioned is they need to be unique. Those URLs or phone numbers or QR codes need to be unique to that ad, because what will happen if you just send them to a generic .com website is it's really hard to differentiate where that person came from. Yes, in your analytics programs, they will come up as an unknown source, but you won't know if that's specifically from your ad or not. So if you create a subdomain on your website, for example, that only that ad drives to, then you know all the traffic that's going there through your online analytics is coming from that billboard. Same with a phone number. If you're sending it to a generic vendor phone number, you don't know if that person has gone through a referral or has come through the direct response from that ad. So if you've got a specific phone number you can send, any phone calls that go to that, are coming from that billboard. And then likewise with QR codes, you need to have a very specific QR code to measure that response that's come directly from that message that you put out there. Now, so how do you actually go about working out how many people have seen it? Now, in the digital world, there are analytics programs that can show you how many impressions that message has seen. And an impression, of course, is how many times potentially someone has viewed that message. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have viewed that message. It's just been delivered to that person with the potential for them to go see it. If you're looking at a Facebook ad with a Facebook impression, it just means if they're scrolling through, that ad has popped up for them, whether or not their eyes glance at that when they're going through and scrolling. So the same thing applies with physical billboards. Now I'm on a road and we're talking about billboards at that oval. Now, in South Australia, where I am from, the Department of Transport actually goes and publishes traffic data. Last time I checked, from memory, it is a monthly data, and it gives it to you on main roads like the one I'm on, in the tens of thousands of vehicles that travel down there per month. Now, these are the equivalent of impressions. It doesn't necessarily mean that someone driving like I am will see your ad on the side of the road. They should be concentrating on the road, but it's the very same concept as scrolling through a feed on social media with an ad there. They may or may not see it. So you just do the same calculation of you divide how many times a response has come through divided by how many impressions that billboard potentially has seen. And it's going to give you a fairly good indication of what that return on investment is, including a comparison that you can do against anything that you do in the digital world to allow you to compare both to see which is better. Now, onto the second way that you can measure physical return on investment for ads and billboards is media mentions. Now, I want to draw you to a case study of American Apparel. American Apparel obviously is an apparel store in America that creates basics clothing, so very non-logo driven clothing, right? So what they do for a lot of their marketing and sales is they go about creating very controversial ads, so using mainly female models but male models as well, and put them in very provocative poses with clothing. And it causes a lot of stir, and what happens is media outlets get outraged, and they then go and report on this, and they take photos or screenshots of the ads, particularly billboard ads as well, for American Apparel, but also online ads, and then they write about how despicable American Apparel is. And then what happens is, obviously, when it gets published in a media outlet, lots of people, lots of the readers see, the ad, the original ad, and what American Apparel has done by doing that is they've crossed from either paid or free channels into earned channels. They've gone and earned that attention. So they've gone and paid for an ad, and then it's crossed the barrier into earned ads, people talking about it and sharing it. And that's one way of getting more distribution. But the important thing around measuring return on investment is, as soon as it gets published in a media outlet, that media outlet has written about it for free, for example, but those media outlets also sell advertising. So the way you can measure your ROI is to go to that outlet's their ad rates and get their ad rates, and then you can divide their readership, the size of the article, which would be the equivalent to an ad, and then multiply that out to work out how much, firstly, it would have cost you to get that attention, but secondly, how many people would have seen that ad if it was paid for. You can just do the simple division as well to go, we got this for free, but if we had to go pay for it in this publication with a circulation of X amount, this is what it would have cost, and you can do a calculation that way for return on investment. So hopefully this follow-up episode on that original episode around how you can utilize awareness and attention and traffic everywhere you go, how you actually then go and determine if it's worthwhile compared to all of the other alternatives that are out there on the market in terms of attention and awareness and traffic, and both in the digital world versus the physical world, but also paid versus free, and working out what's the best return on investment for your time or your money or your effort. So hopefully this has been really useful. I didn't expect this to be such a long episode, but it's almost getting up to about 10 minutes now. So until we talk next time, I hope you have a fantastic day. I would love you to go try this stuff out and do some calculations. Let me know how you go with it. And until we talk next time, I hope you have a fantastic day, and goodbye.
Thanks for listening, and if you like what was on here and want more, please go to orenprunken.com.